1, 2. Yeah, and we're live. And we're back. It's Project Natar. Myself, David Polden, joined by Mike Costello once again. Hello, Martin. How are we doing? All right?
Good, very well. Thank you, David. Keeping virus free, thank goodness.
Yeah, good. Well done, mate. Just stay indoors. Keeping with the social distancing. We're doing another Skype call. So in this discussion, we're going to be talking about Sadiq Khan's reaction or poor reaction, depending on how you look at it, to the Covid-19 pandemic within inside London. So just before we started this video, I see a tweet from Sean Bailey. Sean Bailey, in case those who are watching don't know, is the Conservative candidate for Mayor of London. He actually tweeted Sadiq Khan asking a very civilised question. The question being, 21 TfL staff have basically died now from coronavirus from a workforce of 60,000, and 34 NHS staff have died from coronavirus in a workforce of 1.5 million. So 21 TfL staff have died, sadly, from coronavirus. And his question is, why are you more likely to die of coronavirus if you're working for Sadiq Khan? What do you think, Mike? Do you think that the mayor could be doing a bit more? Do you think he could be doing a little bit more to try and save lives?
Well, the first thing, and my thoughts go out to all the families involved with all this. Absolutely horrific to hear of that death rate. And that death rate of 21 people died from TfL was actually really, really shocking. I had no idea it had risen to that amount, because going back to the question, yes, Sadiq Khan could have done more. We knew this was an issue a week ago, and he's just allowed this to continue and manifest while not providing his workers with the protection they need. It's simple things. Bus drivers must come into contact with thousands of people, doctors and nurses, all sorts, all day, so they can pass this on to anyone. To hear that Sadiq Khan has neglected simple facts like this and not provided them with the protection they need is absolutely appalling.
It is. It's a shocking death toll, 21. Obviously, there are more TfL workers are obviously infected with COVID-19, and let's hope that they pull through. A friend of mine, just for video purposes, I refer to him as Mr. Ra. He's a bus driver. I called him the other day, and I was like, how you getting on, man? Like, he's like, he was still working. He was like, nah, I ain't working. Like, he was like, no way. I've got a sick certificate. I'm not going in. But they're still calling him up. They're trying to get him to come in. They called him up and was like, oh, you sound better. And he was like, nah. He ain't having a bar of it. And he was basically saying to me on the phone, he was like, listen, David, he goes, Sadiq Khan, wherever you believe, that they're cleaning these buses regular and they're doing this. He goes, they're not. He goes, it's not happening. He said that, they're not being cleaned as far as they should be or as regular as they should be. And he said it's too dangerous to go to work. So he's refusing to go to work via getting a sick note. He's part of a WhatsApp bus drivers group. And inside this WhatsApp group, obviously there's lots of discussions. They don't sound very happy with Sadiq Khan from what he was been telling me, and the way the situation's being dealt with, and the way that the companies are now trying to dispute how much pay that drivers should be getting whilst they're off and whatever. And it's all up in arms. But there's quite a few bus drivers from his garage that are infected with COVID-19. So let's just hope that they pull through and they're okay. I don't know. Did you see the interview that Sadiq Khan did with this morning with Piers Morgan?
I heard about it. I heard Morgan give him a good roasting. But what actually did it say?
Well, basically, he ripped him a new one, and he was basically saying to him, why haven't you done more? What's your problem, basically? Why are these staff dying? At the time, I think it was like 14 deaths at the time. Sadiq Khan basically, as he always does, he always passed the blame to someone else. Said that he had taken his advice from the World Health Organization, So, that being said, the World Health Organization has been putting out fake news and disinformation via the Chinese party. On the 14th of January, they tweeted saying that an investigation in China found that the virus wasn't spreadable contact to contact from human to human contact. We know that to be a lie, as the whole world is infected with this Chinese virus. So give him that. He has got a point there. However, you've only got to look at other cities, mine. I mean, look at Italy. Look what happened in Italy. Italy's been smashed. And as a leader of a city, you should be looking at other cities going, what are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? What can I do to save our workers? What can I do to be safe? And he's not been doing that. He's absolutely useless. He's not a leader, is he? He's not a leader material. He's a failed lawyer. Sure. Do you know a bit about his history as a lawyer?
Well, I heard he was connected with 9/11 and 7/7, wasn't he? He was trying to help some of those who are trying to harm us off the hook, by all accounts. I mean, who needs enemies when you got friends like that, eh?
Yeah, so his brother-in-law, Sadiq Khan always likes to drop, my dad was a bus driver, but always forgets to mention that his brother-in-law is an Islamic extremist. He shared a platform 7 times with Islamic extremists. This man is so incompetent. Look at knife crime. What was you saying earlier? The knife crime for 2019 in London was the highest we've seen in 10 years. Was that?
It was a ridiculous amount. It was an eye-water amount. It's like, someone being stabbed every day. Absolutely awful figures.
The murder rate has exceeded that of New York under Sadiq Khan. And that's Sadiq's legacy, isn't it? Is death and destruction. The police commissioner, I see her. She was in the news saying that knife crime is at an all-time low at the moment.
Well, at least the stabbers are trying to keep in their social distancing, I suppose. Probably machete knife crime's a lot higher.
We're going out with spears.
Yeah.
It's just astonishing how he always passes the buck, and he always says, it's someone else's fault. He tweeted a tweet recently saying. It was a post in The Guardian. The Guardian, as they always do, they're always bashing the Tories and the Tory government. It's whatever, anything goes wrong, it's them. So they're basically blaming the Tories, saying that more could have been done. They know they are right, because more could have been done. And, he's blaming the government for the poor response in London, even though he's the mayor of London. It's always someone else's fault, Martin.
Of course.
Never Sadiq Khan's. What's your take on it all? I mean, from outside of London, you're in Swindon. Yeah. You must be looking at the news and seeing what's going on in London. What do you think?
Well, this is it's absolutely astonishing, really. You just wouldn't believe it. London is it's a different planet to the rest of the country. I can tell you that now. It really is. And it's shocking to think that there's such an incompetent person's in power. Trump was right when he said that Khan's doing a terrible job and he was a stone cold loser. We've seen how badly he's failed at knife crime, and the buck stops with him. He's the mayor of London. He's got to start stepping up to the plate, start taking responsibility. If he can't do the job right, then let somebody else who can do it right. And people should stop voting for people like this just on the colour of their badge. Vote for someone who's competent and will actually do the job that you need. The sooner Sadiq Khan goes, the better.
He's just got really poor judgment. Really, just doesn't know. Like a typical Labour politician. Educated beyond their intelligence, and for me, this is it's touching me a bit personal. A friend of mine, he's just got out of hospital. He's in hospital for a few weeks with coronavirus. He's an NHS worker. I'll see a photo of him he posted. He looks like it's really taken its toll on him. It looks like he's been through the war. Wow. Sadly, his father didn't make it. His father had the virus. His father didn't pull through. So when I see incompetence, and when I see someone who really just doesn't care when he's questioned and he's in these interviews. He's just so blasé. People's lives are at risk. People are dying. And, he's just passing the buck. Oh, it's nothing to do with me. I'm just the mayor of London. I just come to work to get paid every day. It's just shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, I just think.
I can feel your pain. I can see why it angers you so much. And I
live it. I mean, I'm a Londoner, born and bred. My family go back hundreds of years in London, and we've seen the changes now and how it is today, and the way that the city's run. It's just terrible, absolutely terrible. I mean, like Sadiq Khan investing £1 million into right-wing extremism, as if it's
basically non-existent.
It's like we've seen. We see one attack in London from a bloke from Wales who drove up from Wales and drove at a mosque in North London. Sadly, one of those people had died. But he's seen an outsider, someone from outside London coming into London, and he's invested £1 million into tackling right-wing extremism. When that £1 million could have gone towards, tackling knife crime in London, helping the youth of today, and setting up clubs, and just putting it towards a real cause that's needed. Again, more and more incompetence. But you seem to think he's going to get back in again.
Well, I'm very concerned about this. I mean, you just have to look at the social makeup of London, and sadly, it's the colour of the badge that will get Labour in. You could put a red rosette on a donkey, and that'll be the next London mayor, which is very, very sad, really. You've had people who died to allow these people to have the chance to vote. And then they just vote for total incompetency rather than the best person. They should look at the CVs of these people, actually get to know what they're going to vote for, and just ditch the rosettes. Because London, you'll be very, very foolish to allow this man to have more time at being mayor. We've seen the carnage, excuse the pun, that he's caused, and it's got to stop. People's lives are at stake here. If Sadiq Khan can't do the job properly, then vote for someone who will.
Yeah, too right. Well said, Martin. Hopefully, people can see through his incompetence and just poor leadership. Like I mentioned with the knife crime, and now with the way he's dealing with the coronavirus situation. And from, like I was saying, from my friend Mr. R, who's in this bus drivers WhatsApp group, who's basically said they don't seem very happy with Sadiq Khan. So hopefully, people have had enough of him and they'll vote him out when eventually we do get to have a mayoral election. Well, thanks for your time, Martin. I appreciate you coming on, mate.
Just pleasure, David.
Rant about this poor, incompetent, sad act of I'll bite my tongue, but he's got to go. He's got to go. He has to go. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Let us know your thoughts. Comment below the video. Let us know how you think Sadiq Khan's been doing. Do you think he's been doing a great job? Do you think he's been doing a poor job? Either way, comment below. Let us know what you think. If you like the video, please press the subscribe and like button. Also, check out the handles below. You can catch Martin. He's got a YouTube channel. Is it under your name? Is it Martin Costello?
Yeah, it's Martin Costello.
Yeah, check him out. Have a look. Thanks again for your time, Martin. Really appreciate it, mate. And no doubt we'll be speaking again soon.
Yeah.
Take care.